Hello world, welcome to Apple. I'm Tim Cook, enhancing your life. This is one of the gimmicky backgrounds that you can now get on just about all of the FaceTime cameras and things on iPads and iPhones and things like that. And I make no apologies today for being a bit of an Apple gimmicky thing here, because this behind me is the background of Cupertino in California, where Apple's products and product strategies are currently being deliberated as we speak, probably for the next 2 years or something like that. This was me last year. Green iPhone 15. Praise the Lord for the auto free upgrade. Oh, it is lovely actually. It is lovely. Very nice. I'm gonna leave that on until I get home. But that's fabulous. Beautiful. Look at that. People on YouTube are saying that the green colour isn't particularly noticeable, but it is. It is. That's quite obviously green. Anyway, alright, yes, come back. Now that happiness was really not to last, because round about June this year, Apple announced Apple Intelligence. I don't deny it sounds very exciting. Anything that improves SIRI has to be very welcome, for example. And with Apple Intelligence, that particular feature, which I'm trying not to name, is getting, a big revamp. And by golly, does it need it. It was great when it first came out. I was a bit dubious round about the time of the iPhone 4S. I don't think I had an iPhone 4S, to be honest. I think I went from the 4 to the 5 and then to the 6. So yeah, I waited sort of like a year in between each upgradey sort of thing. So I didn't get a 4S, but I was quite dubious of the S word. But when I finally got it and started using it, I found that it really is quite remarkable, just for doing things like scheduling your next hair appointment in a calendar, or whether or not you just want to know a quick fact about a place or a person. Siri can tell you. But other voice assistant things have by far now exceeded the capabilities of Siri. Even though, yes, Siri is still capable, I still find I use it every day, but I find myself nowadays becoming more and more infuriated with it. Now, I don't know whether that's my fault. I don't know whether or not that's really Apple's fault. Are they trying to do down the current Siri in order to make the new Apple Intelligence thing seem even more remarkable? I don't know. However, the thing about a company like Apple, and as I've kind of intimated already, is that they know years in advance what their product strategies are going to be. They admit as much, that by the time that they've got a product out, there are already teams that are working on the next thing. Apple Intelligence must have been years in the making. Certainly by the time that they made last year's iPhone 15, which I talk about here, they knew what Apple Intelligence was, roughly when it would be available, and they knew, more importantly, the technology required in their products to be able to make it. Apple Intelligence. What Macs, iPads and iPhones are required. This is from appleinsider.com. After a year of speculation, Apple has unveiled Apple Intelligence. You better have a pretty new Mac, iPhone or iPad to use it though. Announced at WWDC 2024 on Monday, so that would have been... What day of the week was June the 10th, 2024? It was Monday, 10th of June, 2024. See how clever Siri is. Apple Intelligence hardware requirements. Any Apple Silicon Mac. Any Apple Silicon iPad. iPhone 15 Pro or iPhone 15 Pro Max. So those basically are the things that you can have or that you will need to have in order to take advantage of Apple Intelligence, which is more, as I say, than just an upgraded Siri. What's missing, folks? Yes, you've guessed it. The iPhone 15 and its larger brother, which is the Max version of it, whatever, I can't remember what its exact name is. But, of course, the iPhone 15 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max were announced at the same time last year. There was not a slightest bit of inclination last year when they were running all their campaigns for the iPhone 15 and its, the whole lineup thing, that one of them was not going to be fit for Apple Intelligence, and they knew it at the time. Now you can understand if it was a product that was filled with last year's technology and sold very cheaply, such as the iPhone SE, for example, or even on the iPads, like the basic iPads. I think they're iPad 10th generation now or something, I think they are, which is awful, by the way. That article in Apple Insider also said you'd better have a pretty new product for it to work, and then went on to name products that are at least 3 years old. It was round about 2020 that we started getting the first M1 products, for example. So 3 to 4 years old they are. So they're not that new. And in fact, they're about halfway through their life cycle, on the understanding that you'll get around 7 or 8 updates before your phone is no longer supported by Apple. So it is a bit of a sucker punch, really. It sounds like a deliberate, cynical way of getting those people that invested in the basic iPhone 15 to upgrade to a 16. They knew darn well that the processor inside the iPhone 15 and the bigger one was not going to be good enough for Apple Intelligence. They were well on the way then, because it was only 6 months later, in June this year, that they announced it. So, yaboo, Apple. Really? That is not impressive. Sorry to tell you so. Sorry to be the one. But yeah, not really very pleased with you with that one, Apple. If you stick with me, world, then I'll come back to you in a few days. I have got better news about Apple to share with you. And yeah, I will update you soon. Oh, remember to like, subscribe, share if you dare, and live your best life.